Welcome into the Wanks FPL podcast. We're back after a short hiatus, quick turnaround for Gameweek 35, but lots has happened. Lots of chips have been played. Sharpe, I believe you're at a season high for yourself. Is that right?
I am, yeah, 58K, hoping
Hell yeah.
to gain a little bit here in the next few weeks, but I think holding on to the wild card has helped out a little bit.
Mack, how about you? How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Another green. Happy. Not
Yep.
much else to report.
I don't want to say static because obviously Sharpe has gone lower. Maybe it's just because my rank is, makes this look so
Dude, you're
such small
flat
gains.
line right there.
Yeah. Such small gains, but it does make Sharpe's big jump look like a very, very tiny gain. However, yeah, this is where we're at. So far this season, a lot has happened in the past couple weeks. Let's see, I was on the bench boost and then a free hit. Sharpe, I know you wild carded last week, which saw you continue to just build that lead that you've been holding. And Mack, we can do a little chip talk in a minute. I need to catch up on where you guys are at on that, but let's just jump right into it. I guess I can show mine first. Then I'll just talk about my free hit. Almost didn't get this one over the line, but we did. I was looking before this at why this was actually a small red arrow for me. And I think the big problem was really just the goalie decision. And at the last minute, I was looking at maybe trying to fit in Raya, but I went Royce, hoping that maybe he'd get some good save points. That sure backfired as Nottingham Forest put up a 5 on Sunderland. Absolutely brutal. But otherwise, I think this was just one of those ones where whether people had the free hit or the wild card or we're building towards this, we're just in a little bit of a template-y part of the season where, the gains between teams are probably somewhat minimal. That said, not a lot to love on this team. Salah, fucking so ass. Thiago didn't do anything. Rodgers didn't do anything. Rice didn't do anything. So for a free hit, pretty big failure. Missed a lot of points, and am showing up in the banana this week despite using that chip. So not a lot to love there. But going to someone who had a little bit more success, let's talk Mack.
I was sympathetic to your plight until I saw that you benched all your Spurs players, and that's how I know you're truly against me.
Yeah.
So, no, you deserve that banana. I'm in the plunger this week for last week because we didn't pod. But I'm feeling pretty good. I somehow, and this is what I've been nervous about since game week 24, have not lost a significant amount of rank during the big chip activation period, and that was always the cost of using my wild card early. And I've been rogue for a while, and I think I can now say it's been largely successful because I wild carded in 24. I haven't had Holland since 28. And yeah, I didn't really get punished by the wild cards, the bench boosts, or the free hits. Climbed like Godzilla by my cat. And you can see right where I used my wild card and the rank decreased, and it's been pretty smooth sailing ever since. So pretty damn happy about all that. That's not actually my team. Put the wrong thing up. Sorry. Okay, now I'm done being assaulted by my cat. Bowen did pretty great. Anderson, who knew? I was on the bonus, the receiving end in a good way of that Nottingham Forest pummeling of Sunderland. Yeah, I guess so. Alderete, though, 0 points, but that's fine. And then the Arsenal boys actually popped off. So I think I tweeted this, but if you wore red stripes, thanks for absolutely nothing this week, especially because both of the Brentford boys got yellow cards. So that was just thanks, you guys were useless.
Is your aesthetic brain just absolutely loving this week? Holy hell. Everyone's in red. That's insane. I don't think I've ever seen something like this.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I captained the wrong player because I was rearranging my team again. So I did it twice this season.
I was going to say the second time this season.
And then luckily, João Pedro didn't play either of the double game weeks, and Holland was my captain. So got bailed out on that one. But yeah, my aesthetic brain is loving this.
Let's go. All right, let's move on to Sharpe, who wild carded this week. Actually, sorry. Before that, let's go back to Mack. Mack, where does this put you in chips? What do you have remaining?
Oh, yeah. I have my bench boost.
Okay.
So I'll get into it a little more in transfers, but I have a plan for that. I think
Cool.
it's limited options.
Cool. All right. Sorry, Sharpe. Take us away.
No, you're chill. Yeah, I think the big difference between all of our teams, Luke, you called out Raya. He was huge this week because I got burned from Mukiele, but a tenner.
I know where this is going.
I mean, yeah, you guys absolutely know where this is going because he is the differential. Like, he's the guy.
Yeah, I was thinking about this today before we got on. I was like, Sharpe has had so many of these this season where like a player that is not very popular that you've just been like, fuck it, I'm going for it. And I've called you an idiot. The only time I can remember being like in support of it was when you did Barry, and that one was terrible. So I would like to take as much credit as I would blame in the sense of, every time that I tell you it's a shit move and you confirm it and pull the trigger, you're welcome. That's the bias you need.
That's so fair. I would say Barry
we were right on the Casemiro one though. It's just that then they fired their coach and then the whole thing changed. And that sucks.
It is what it is. Just gotta call Uncle at some point, and I'm doing that.
I didn't pick Casemiro before when Anarim was there. I picked him up like a couple weeks ago for like the real time. But yeah.
I'm just justifying it. I'm so jealous.
No, that's fine. You're
Green with envy.
I fully understand it, but when we talk about how good Bruno is, this is my reasoning for going for him after watching United, because I actually did watch him some. Watching Bruno be able to facilitate the way he does, and Casemiro being able to he puts himself in great positions, and the fact that he has someone that can find him. He, I believe, has 8 goals now off of set pieces this year alone, just because Bruno is able to pick him out like that. And then last game, I believe he had 26 DEFCONs, which is absurd. I think that's got to be one of the highs of the season. I didn't watch the game on Monday, but that was sick. The funny part is on Sunday, I was going into Monday, I'm like, the only way, because I was behind you guys, like the only way that I sit pretty at the end of this, I was on a red. How do I get to green? How do I get top of the mini? Is if Brentford guys do nothing and Casemiro has a day. And I got lucky. And that is what that is.
That's exactly what happened. There we go. Money.
Hey, there's a lot of luck involved in getting good rank, but picking them up in the first place is making your own luck. So it was nice. You proved us wrong on that one.
There you go. What I am excited about the wildcard is when we get into what my team looks like over the next couple weeks, because I think holding off on it, like to touch on strategy a little bit, holding off on it was really nice. I didn't have a team that I could field very well after the Ekatike injury and a couple other things for 34 that I originally thought I might have. So basically what this allowed me to do was field a team this week. I rolled 2 free transfers and could build a team that was successful, not just this week, but like for the rest of the season. So I am kind of excited about that.
You said it a couple weeks ago, and you were so right about it, that like you were just like, I don't want a wild card, because I think that the double ended up being weaker than a lot of people expected, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't lose a ton of rank. But you already had all of the players required to navigate the double, barring like a couple transfers. And now you've just been able to set yourself up for the entire rest of the season, like you said, and that's a pretty strong place to be as you're trying to gain, as much rank as possible in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I think at this time it was going to be so template too. Like, yeah, I feel like if I did do that stuff, I would have just been the same thing. So it's fun to like grow a little bit off of it.
Yeah, and I think along those lines, like you've set yourself up nicely. I'd be curious to see what wild cards look like going into this week, because I know this is I don't want to say a huge wild card week, but like some people are using it. So yeah, it's good to know that yours is looking good, stacking up to that going through the rest of the season. Along those lines, big news, not shocking, but game week 36 is a double for both Palace and City. So inevitably that kind of means that they jump a little bit higher to the top in terms of, looking at their projections over the next few weeks, players that you could theoretically want to target. Curious from your guys' perspective, are there any players that now, because of that, you feel like you're needing to target? Obviously, you want to balance that, like, okay, double game week. Obviously, you see with Palace, like their projections look really low for the rest of the season, excluding that double game week. All that to say, how do you guys feel like you're going to balance trying to bring in City and Palace assets with just looking at kind of the weeks ahead and playing each game week?
I think for me, when I look at it, it almost has to be Mateta, when I look at it, or Sar if you're bringing in a Palace guy for that double game week specifically. And I say that because with the way City's playing and what they have to play for, as Mack has touched on before, they're going to be putting goals in. So I'm not really counting that defense as a bonus into that. And Lacroix would be your choice there. So to me, it's three.
Well,
City
I was going to
guys.
say, I feel like the only one that would maybe be an option in that sense would be Munoz, just because he has the attacking
the
threat.
attacking threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would almost argue that City's defense has stepped up at the same rate. So I'm like, I see them giving up goals and getting blanked.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel. But I think you definitely have to have three City guys going into that for sure. And I don't know why you wouldn't the rest of the season. Looking at where they're ranked, I mean, I think it's got to be Holland to protect yourself. I think you can pick between O'Reilly and Gahey, but now that O'Reilly's back, I think it's him. And after that, it's Cherky or Semenyo, and I got to go Cherky with how he's played so like recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys are already on those three, right? Like Holland, or well, I guess you don't have Holland, Mac, but
no, I only had him on the free hit last week.
Interesting. So, but outside of that, Sharpe, you're on Holland, Cherky, O'Reilly, or Holland, Cherky, Gahey?
I did switch it up. So within the wild card, I made the sideways move from Gahey to O'Reilly because
Nice.
I think he has more opportunities over the last few games.
And then I'm, to the point of wild card decisions, I'm still on Semenyo. So I've got Holland, Semenyo, and O'Reilly. And then Mac, I'm peeping your bus. So I'm assuming this means that you are bringing in Holland.
Yeah, I am. That's definitely the plan. Spoiler alert. I think I said it earlier. But yeah, I mean, when I decided on this course of action and I said, okay, I'm going to free hit 34. They're all blending together. They've been coming so rapidly. I said, when I'm going to free hit 34, I'm not going to wildcard in 33. My plan was to exit my City assets because they had like a run of like a blank, then the double, which I could cover, and then, another blank. And then I was like, I need to get back into Palace and City assets afterwards because of the doubles. Palace really, though, has not been amazing, and their fixtures are so challenging for the rest of the season. It's Bournemouth, Everton, City, Brentford, Arsenal. Those are all, I actually don't know where Everton is in the table, but I think they're all top half teams. That now I'm feeling a lot less strongly, and I could only get up to 3 transfers before 36 with what I had. So I think I decided to go a lot harder on the City assets because I just think of the fact that they're trying to win the Prem. As Sharpe said, they have the most upside, and they're showing a bit of form, now that the title race is so close. So
yeah, I think it makes sense for you to get Holland at this point. Seems like you've successfully dodged him for a while, but now's probably the time to get him back in with the double. To that point, we all look like a bunch of fucking idiots for triple captaining Gabriel earlier in the season, and now you have a Holland double where he's fighting for the Prem title.
I don't know why I let you idiots talk me into that. I was so against it. And
Wait, whoa! I tried not to talk you guys into it. Actually, I was pissed that you did do it.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't even remember where I stood. But that was I have always said never use it on a defender. That was like the line I would have never crossed in my.
You said you'd never use captaincy on the defender, let alone triple
captain. Yeah, that was just the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. You're so right. We are so stupid.
Yeah, so it's looking rough from that perspective, but yeah, Holland is, as much as he's been wishy-washy for this last portion of the year, you got to think that a player like that is going to turn it on with a title fight like this. And God, can I just say, it's so fun that there is a title fight. I feel like in the Prem in general, this doesn't happen all that often where you have two teams battling it out like this at the end of the year. And not only that, but like in the fashion that it's being done is just fucking awesome.
That's great.
That Arsenal City game was so fun to watch. So
it's been a boring ass season, but this is fun.
Yeah, 100%. Let's hope the attack team wins out because I'm tired of own goal FC and their antics.
I really would like. So okay, I will say, I wanted City to beat Burnley by more. Is that controversial? Yeah. I was really thinking that they were going to win by like 5. And I just don't know if we should be worried that they didn't. Like, on one hand, a win's a win. It's not their most important game coming up. But we've had questions on, like, is the City attack fully clicking? Like, Ryan Cherky's been amazing, and he was awesome in that Arsenal game. But I'm just like, I'm nervous because I don't want Arsenal to win so much.
Yeah.
I think part of it was there were 3 games within a week, 7 or 8
Yeah.
days. So I think you got to look at it a little bit like that when you do have that and you are just up on a team you're better than. I get conserving.
Yeah, and I mean they won the ones that mattered, right? Like they got Chelsea handedly, they got Arsenal handedly, and they drew West Ham and Forest, which were bad. But I mean, beyond that, they haven't lost since United in 22. That's pretty solid.
It's also worth noting in that I just pulled up that City Burnley game. Expected goals were 3.3 to 0.6. So
good. We like that.
They put it up on them. They just ball didn't go in the net. Sometimes ball don't go in net.
Thank you guys for talking me off the cliff then. So they're playing Everton, Brentford, Palace next, and then Bournemouth, Villa. Oh, because they have a game in hand. So there's 5 games for the left. Hence the double. For those that can't count like me.
For those keeping track at home. Yeah. It's a hell of a time to be a fan of the Prem. I love it.
It's good.
We've got, I hate to say it, but we've got some storylines. There's, some good fighting for Champions League spots as well as European spots. Chelsea has been on an absolute fucking shitter. Yeah. They get rid of Rosinha. They've lost 5 in a row. They've fallen completely out. They're in 8th in the league. And your boys Tottenham got the win this weekend, but unfortunately so did West Ham and Nottingham Forest. So not a lot of movement there.
0 penalties for us this season. I'm gonna sound like such a conspiracy theorist, but and then West Ham get that handball no call. I was like, this is crazy. That being said, if we survive, the dopamine is gonna be crazy. You guys have no idea how good it felt to win this weekend. I was like, I've never cheered this hard ever. For a game like this, at the back end of the season, I was so pumped.
One other storyline to watch going through the rest of the season is United. What do we have? Do they have exactly 3 games left, or what is it? I don't know. They've got a few games left, and basically this is the last opportunity for that guy to cut his hair. If they win their next 3, they're on a 2-game win streak.
Oh, right. About that.
It's actually really funny.
They play Liverpool, Sunderland, and Forest.
Is he going to count friendlies? If they go in a preseason tour against?
I saw something from him the other day. He's not counting friendlies. So it's if it's not now, he's got it for another year. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but it's gotten out of hand. He's going to start looking like the fucking Oompa Loompa from Willy Wonka pretty soon.
I'm just impressed by the volume. My hair would go down at some point.
Right,
yeah, agreed.
Anyway, I mean, I think all that stuff is relevant to FPL because you look at a team like Chelsea and you're like, well, I don't want any piece of that, which is great for me as somebody with double attack. You look at a team like City and you say, hey, they're motivated. There's a lot of things to take away from that. Mack, I think you wanted us to touch on the best assets to go for going forward. Obviously, we've touched on that those can come from City, but also it's probably about that time to make sure that you're invested in the right arsenal potentially. But I'm curious where you guys are at from that perspective. Because as somebody who had Declan Rice and he blanked his ass off last week, I just don't have any confidence in anyone in their attack.
I fully agree with you on that, and that is why on the wild card as well, I brought Raya in. I would say it's been pretty clear all season I've been anti bringing him in for how expensive he is. But now that we're at this point and that money really is not an object, it makes no sense to not have him in with the run that they have. So to me, it's Raya, and then Gabriel's been second, third best player all year in FPL, something stupid like that. He's consistent, so he's going to be there. I do have Rice in there, but I think you could go anywhere else. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate that at all. Saliba back there, something like that would be such a valid play, especially I would say with Sunderland's drop off in defensive form. I think he was Sunderland in general were cheap options we were going to. New new tactics, terrible. So staying away from that. I like Liverpool's run, so I'm just thinking about how you could fit in your defense then at that point. And I don't think there's a ton of options. So I think it makes a lot of sense to go triple, I guess is the answer.
Yeah, similar. This comes back to my wild card. Love it. But the teams with some of the best fixtures going through the remainder of the year, top of top, regardless of if you're looking here at the weighted fixtures, is Arsenal, and then it's Brighton, and then it's Leeds. So you do have both of those teams, but not notoriously stout defenses. So to your point, it feels like it's probably just safe to try to go with as much of City and Arsenal as you can. How do you guys feel about Liverpool defenders? Obviously, I think we probably all had Van Dijk this past weekend, but is that somebody who you feel like is essential going forward?
I think it's more of like a who are you going to put in instead?
Sure. Yeah,
Like,
I think we're kind of at that part of the season.
Yeah, it's like, am I super confident in the Liverpool clean sheet every week? No, but in the last 3 weeks, he's gone 9-8-4. Very respectable defensive score. They got United, which might hurt, but then Chelsea, Villa, Brentford have a chance of success. And like, doesn't everyone have like a ton of money in the bank? Like if you're bringing in Leeds guys or like Welbeck or someone, you probably have like a fair bit of cash to spend.
Yeah.
100% the story of the season. So
money's no object, baby.
What I'll say on the players I'm looking to target is completely agree on the City and Arsenal guys, right? You're going to want 3 of both of them, and that's just like a non-negotiable. And I feel like everybody's going to have that. So then I think that the question becomes who's next, right? Maybe a couple United assets because they're one of the few teams in the top. There's City, Arsenal, 1, 2. Then there's United, 3. But then, Liverpool and Chelsea are, like you guys have, and Villa, and even kind of Brighton have all been kind of like inconsistent, right? So United are maybe the wide receiver 2s, to put in American football terms. And then I think you just got to look at like, okay, now I have to round out my team with the budget guys. Who are the best of the budget guys? For me, that's probably Leeds, and they're the team that I most fear right now because I don't have any of them. Spurs have showed a little bit of form, but they got more injury and their guys aren't as cheap. I think you could justifiably go to a Forest asset like a Morgan Gibbs White because they've been on an incredible run of form, or West Ham assets. So we're actually in this weird spot where all of the budget guys are kind of popping off. And I think this game's going to be won in the next couple of weeks by who gets the right ones.
Yeah. I have 3 free transfers and I have no idea who to get. Like to your point on the United guys, I'll let you go in a second, Sharpe, but sorry, the United guys, like the only one, I can't believe I'm saying it, the only one that is scoring any points is Casemiro, but you don't have Cunha is not playing consistently enough. Bumo is getting pulled early. He has been for a while.
He's been terrible.
Sesko, you could maybe go Sesko, but from an attacking perspective, genuinely really tough to find options. From a defensive perspective, I don't know if I trust United more than any other team. So I don't know. I'm feeling like in an odd position where on paper, considering the fixtures, my team is in theory where it's supposed to be, but I hate it, but I also don't know where else to go. So Sharpe, take it away.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be as helpful for your situation, but what has really impacted me coming from a different strategy is I still have my bench boost that I can use and built my wild card a bit around for 36. So who I was targeting was obviously City, Arsenal, great. After that, Bruno, I still find essential. I don't think that's a question. We're talking United, so that's good. Then I'm looking at the best fixtures that are there. So I did go Villa. So I do have Rodgers and Watkins. I'm acknowledge that people would find that pretty aggressive. As we touched on, they've been inconsistent, but with that Burnley fixture when I'm bench boosting, that really is what sold me on them. I looked at the Leeds guys like you mentioned, Max. So DCL is in there for me. He hasn't put many away, but he's had a lot of chances over the past few game weeks, and I don't see a reason why that would change. I think you then
listen to the change in tune.
Mr. Vibes is bringing a lot of stats.
Two. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, you're bringing a lot of stats, Mr. Vibes.
Yeah. But these are the vibes. He's going to turn it around now, so we're fine.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
The midfield for me, I went Leeds there too. So for me, I went Okafor. If I had gotten the chance to take everything back, I would have done it a little differently. But I think Aronson is a very viable option in that midfield if you're looking for someone there to fill in. I think there's a lot of viable midfield options, but that's my guy. And then I'm looking at Lacroix, unfortunately, or Munoz in my back line. So just to get that double game week, so targeting a little bit of Palace there. But then I still like Sunderland's run. I hope that they can find a defensive form because I like having Mukiele in the back as like a budget guy there. I think you could go a Leeds guy there pretty easily though as well.
Yeah. I mean, so we listed half the
Just
teams.
walk through
so
your
how do
team.
we decide?
I did just walk through my team is what I did.
No,
But then-
I like the logic though. I unfortunately feel like I accepted it a couple weeks ago that I'm probably just not catching it this season because you're in such a strong spot for the run in.
Where are we at again? 47.
Yeah, good lord, and he's got so much stronger of a
So
team.
he's got bench boost. What did you say you have left, Mac?
I had bench boost, but I didn't wild card for my bench boost is the thing. So it's gonna be
Got it.
there's levels to this, and that's why mine's where it is. But I don't know. You brought up an interesting point with the Villa guys. Like for me, because I didn't have the opportunity, like I'm gonna have to accept that I'm not gonna be able to get everybody that I want in the rest of the season. So I'm gonna have to pick like guys who I think will do well game to game. But Villa's a good shout. I'm surprised Newcastle is this high on this list, by the way. That seems so weird. They've been horrible.
Like Villa, maybe I'm not here to say they're a terrible shout, but they did just lose 1-0 to Fulham.
Yeah. No, I'm fully aware.
I only say that because I free hitted their players in and they did nothing.
Yeah, but that's because you had them, so they'll be good
exactly. So you'll be good now. Yes. Yeah. Rough game, but
you also had to have them this week. I mean, with the blanks, it made sense.
It is what it is. All right. Well, then let's jump into bus teams.
Yeah.
Sounds like maybe let's just start with Sharpe since he just talked us through his whole team.
Yeah. I know, but it changed it a little bit. But yeah, I like where I'm sitting right now. Named off a lot of those guys. Obviously, Leeds gets Burnley this week, so that feels great. The only thing that I'm going to say I'm mad about, so I used 2 free transfers coming into this. Haaland is now back in my team. He was not in my actual wild card last week. And Cherky is into the team. He was not either. So I used both my free transfers to attack those City guys that we've talked about. The only thing I wish I would have done differently after I did this Sunday, I did it early before the United game. I do wish I had kept Casemiro in this team instead of Okafor, if I could afford that. And I wish I had waited for the Leeds game to know that he might get a knock, which is always a possibility. I didn't do that. I just went early.
Wait, why don't you have Casemiro? I'm confused. Didn't you wildcard last week?
But Cherky's in now.
Oh, you did Cherky in for
Casemiro. So you specifically targeted Casemiro for the last game?
Yeah, basically. Well, he was always, I did, but he was always in my team. So I liked him there.
Okay.
Vibes.
But
stop trying to understand.
Come on. What I wish I'd done was just Okafor instead in that situation.
Got it. Okay.
It looked differently there. Yeah. I think if I had known that Sunderland was going to fall apart the way they did, I wouldn't have Mukiele, but against Wolves, I'm still not worried about it. That still feels pretty good. So I feel pretty well set up this week. The captaincy chip will be a question between Haaland and Bruno. In my brain, I think I'm still leaning Bruno, and that vice captain chip is not going to stay on Ali. So
nice.
It does seem like, I mean, Tottenham have not been good, but not like, I don't know, Villa just like are so inconsistent that it could be a lot or it could be absolutely nothing. And I agree with not vice captaining Watkins.
Yeah. Agreed with your takes there. Like, and Tottenham has looked better, obviously, over the last few games. I said it even before they won. They were starting to look like a real team.
They're getting more injuries than goals a game. Like, it's crazy.
That is crazy. I'm just hoping, honestly, the Villa boys get hot for the end of the season here. That's what we need.
No. I do not want to be relegated. What is wrong with you people? With these friends, I got one dude benching all the Spurs assets, and then the other one's like, "Yeah, Villa need to get hot, man. Relegate your team." Fuck you.
No. Hey, they can get hot after this game, but I'm gonna need them to get hot at some point here.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I mean? We didn't make Tottenham be bad. That's not our fault.
No, you're right, but I'm gonna take it out on you. I'll be open about it.
All right, let's talk about your team. Yeah, bring in some Tottenham players then.
I don't have enough transfers, otherwise I totally would. So this week I got rid of Bowen and Odango for Cherky and Haaland. The plan was always to get back into the City assets. I thought I was only going to use one transfer this week, but just with the rate that Cherky's been scoring, I was just like, all right, you just got to get the guy who's hot, right? Like someone's always popping off in a Pep Guardiola team, and if it's him, it's him. That feels all fairly obvious. I had Guehi already. Yeah, not much to report there in terms of transfers. So now next week I will have one more transfer to prepare for, and then I'll bench boost, and that'll be that. Probably going to bring in a Palace asset, even though they might get punked by City. It's just Palace have looked horrible in the last couple of games, and so where I thought a couple weeks ago I would need like 3 of them for sure, I don't. Things that worry me about this team is in Bumo, the fact that I still have Thiago, Alderete. That's mainly it. The problem is I have like 3 holes in my team and not enough transfers to address them. So in terms of what I'm going to do for the rest of the season beyond just my bench boost in 36 is I'm going to need to decide if I'm going to play like really aggressively. I don't think a hit is like worth it at this point in the season, but at the same time, like if Mbumo is not doing anything for my team, we'll have to see. So I'm a little unsure what the rest of the weeks are going to hold, but my core is probably fine for the run-in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you already spent your transfers, but I also think considering your bench boosting in 36, just trying to use the transfer there to shore up anybody who maybe isn't going to start or something is probably the best play. Mm-hmm. I'll show you my team and then you'll feel better about not having any transfers, just in the sense of like, I have 3 transfers and I don't think you guys are going to come up with anybody I should go to. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, before you jump into your team, I just want to say on Mack's team, I don't think our teams are very different whatsoever. I think we've been, and this is indicative of our scores, is like we're pretty close each week. Like we were 5 points off last week. It hasn't been very far, and I'm waiting for it to like flip. I feel like your guys could be the ones that take off because I think we're just on the flip side of a couple of those tertiary options.
That's true. My sort of just I'm depressed about the state of where I am this season. Counterpoint is that like I like your coverage, right? You got a lot of spread. I don't have Leeds representation and I don't have Villa representation, and it's just as likely that those teams do well as my guys. In an ideal world, I would maybe not have Mbumo and I would have Rodgers, and then maybe I would have like DCL instead of Thiago, or maybe it's Okafor. Now I'm happy to have Anderson. That is a trade-off, right? Like he's a great cover option. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's I'll point and laugh at Luke.
Yeah. I was gonna say this is the Arsenal. The 2 of you guys are like playing the Arsenal style. You're like, no you. No you. So it's let's jump into my team. No me. Yeah, send him my way.
This is high society.
Yeah. So I don't even know what the latest is on João Pedro and Palmer.
I cannot believe you have Chelsea assets.
Don't think it's good. Don't think
this team is wild. Like
terrible.
You just have players that I'm like, I thought we all got rid of them already.
Well, I'm unfortunately so surprised by your wild card too. I'm sorry.
The thing is, I didn't know I still had them. We did a free hit last week, and so I didn't know I had these guys. And then I pulled it up and I went, oh God. Here we are. Let's make some transfers. Let's make some babies. I don't know.
How many transfers do you have?
3.
Oh, you're fine then.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have that much. I have 2 million in the bank.
Okay, well,
so get rid of Cole Palmer for 1. There's 12.
Yeah, genuinely, what's the deal with him? Like, because he didn't play, right?
It doesn't matter. They're just as a team.
They're just ass.
Yeah. This is good.
They have look at their. I'm not going to say their form, but look at their form. If you go on FootMob, it's just L's. It's the only team on the. It's Spurs have better form than them right now. Put that into context.
Yeah, Enzo's like raging against the machine with that team as well. So
yeah, he's just trying to bid himself out because they've been horrible. I don't blame him. You come in with expectations of winning, and then you got a senior.
All right. Well, then let's here. I'll just share my screen, and you guys we can have a little fun. You guys tell me what to do, and I'll pull the trigger.
I mean, I'm looking at Palmer and Hinshelwood as 2 guys I would probably be the first ones out, and João Pedro's not far behind.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Hinshelwood returned for me a couple weeks ago, if I'm not wrong.
And you do have Wolves in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, and you do have a lot of Bournemouth.
I don't think Hinshelwood is as big of a deal because he's like your 5th guy.
Yeah, he returned for me last time.
Like I don't think you need double Bournemouth.
All right, 3-3.
He's my boy. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't care. You could do anything you want with this team. Tell me what to do.
Bigger priority, in my opinion, is Palmer. I think you got to get rid
I
of him.
agree
Let's
with
get
that.
rid of him. Okay. Who are we getting?
Who do you not have? Like,
He doesn't have
see,
any Villa.
which is just good coverage.
So
You-
Rogers?
Good placeholder, if nothing else. We can see what the rest
Yeah.
of the team we can afford with the rest.
Ooh,
Um,
hold up. Before we go anywhere else, I want to call out that he only has Gabrielle and does not have Raya or
Oh, you don't have
No
any Arsenal
Rai.
assets. Yeah, you got to get back in the Arsenal assets, man. Great catch. Would you go for Raya, or were you trying to go for like a Rice or something? Like, do you want to improve 2 midfield positions? You could
I
go
don't
for
think
both.
Rice. I don't think Rice is as big of an improvement as
I agree.
I would either
In-
Saliba or Raya. Jesus, he wants more Bournemouth. The guy can't get enough of Bournemouth.
Let's see. Who would you get rid of out of these two?
Darlow.
Darlow, Brighton's good on the way.
I mean, he is playing Burnley this week, but okay. Whatever.
Yeah, but are you
you
going to play him?
gonna play him?
I would, honestly, but that's neither here nor there. Not over Raya. So
It's what I said earlier in the season. If I bring in Raya, I'm never not playing him.
Except for that 1 week you didn't play him.
That was an accident. That's because I'm stupid.
That was
okay.
so funny.
Raya, excellent. Rogers Raya.
Okay, so now we have one transfer.
And 2.9 in the bank, baby.
I think you solved the double Bournemouth defense problem.
Is João Pedro gonna play?
Play? Probably, right? Did he not play?
He isn't.
The
buddy.
double game week. What do you mean?
I'm sorry. I've been so tuned out on Chelsea because they've just been so.
You
Irrelevant.
said the words "not but" 10 minutes ago.
No,
and you were
you're-
I'm glad
grateful
Sharpe
that-
Sharpe is doing the like Obama anger translator for me right now, and it's perfect. Thank you.
No. You guys, like, here's the thing. When I mean like João Pedro didn't play in that, and I stopped paying attention to him entirely. I understand. I said it earlier. My apologies.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
so if João Pedro is not going to play, then I feel like he's probably highest priority. But I don't know if that's the case.
I mean, that's a valid point. Who would
get
you
it.
bring in?
I could do Thiago. I don't know. I don't
I
know
mean,
who's good.
Okay, one thing I
You
regretted
don't. You
this
don't
week-
have DCL, which I know is another step down, but I think DCL is a
I
very
could just
good
do
option.
Watkins. You were talking about how you love the Villa boys.
Is there something to be
Also-
said about Bowen?
There's something to be said about him for sure.
Because Bowen does.
DefCons.
That's true. Except Bowen got me 10 points last week.
Yeah, that was nice.
Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle, Leeds. Mixed
That's
bag for
way
sure.
less nice. I don't
That's
like that.
it's not actually. I pulled up the form right as I said that. It wasn't good. Watkins does play Burnley. So I mean, I feel like if you can afford him, Watkins might just be the speculative play. The only thing is, like, do you really want to go from double Chelsea to double?
No.
Like, maybe instead of bringing in both Rodgers and Watkins, you get rid of Rodgers and then bring in Watkins and diversify a little more.
Okay.
Do you like anyone in the midfield more than Rodgers, than DCL, more than Watkins?
Oh, look at that.
Gibbs White, cover Forest.
Gorgeous. I don't think Forrest is going to continue doing this. I think that was.
Casemiro is a decent option, although I think that's a little too speculative. with the
He's
amount of money you have.
he's six. Look at him. He's fifth total for midfielders. That's insane. All right, sorry.
I mean, I agree, but like,
He's
Forrest-
amazing, but I just transferred him out. So if I transfer him out and you transfer him in,
Right,
he's
we know what's
getting
gonna
negative
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
that's
But
true.
see,
It's probably recommended if
here's
I
the
don't
here's the
have-
only flip side. Here's the only flip side. You guys have very similar teams. It behooves me to go completely the opposite. So
No,
maybe
don't
I
think it
do
does.
opposite world. And
I think you have to. I think you have to understand that everybody at your rank has a bad team. Therefore, getting something closer to the template will help you.
You can't be at your rank and not suck. is what
Right.
Matt
I'm not
just
saying
said.
it's no. It has nothing to do with your personal level of skill, but you're clearly missing the guys who are scoring.
it's not high. Don't worry about it. All right. So then Rice, or what are we talking?
Well, that's just a. I mean, so you have Semenyo, which is great. The problem is Rice has been kind of shit. I just feel like you need to beef up your midfielder. Like, you have 3 budget guys in there, basically.
Yeah, but okay, like I know I'm being difficult at the moment, but this is genuinely why I was saying this when you were showing your team and being like, damn, I wish I could get more players. Is like, there ain't nobody out there.
I think whatever spot you go, you need to go Villa and Leeds. So you either go Watkins and Aronson, or you go Rodgers and DCL. In my opinion,
I agree. I mean, those are the teams to target right now. unless you want West Ham representation, which we don't because of the fixtures. Like
West Ham represent.
those teams are on form too, which is important. Like they have things to play for.
Those are nice fixtures. Wow, those are nice fixtures.
Yeah.
You sure about this, dude? I'm not.
He is way more involved if you watch the game than I would say his returns have been lately. I think Okafor has been the guy in form, which is why I went for him.
Got it.
However, he might have a knock. You should do research on that before you finalize a transfer. I'm stuck
No,
with
I'm-
him. So.
Ampadu is another good option. He got 9, but then it's relatively blanks before that.
Again, this is why I went DCL. I think, well, his form is not as good. He's had a lot of opportunities he hasn't put in, so I think he's going to put him in.
Yeah,
and then
that's
I do
probably
have
fair.
faith in Rodgers overall.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best play.
The other thing is that Leeds is great at home and they're playing Burnley at home. And so for that reason alone, like DCL might be the guy.
Are you sure you're reading it right?
Yes, I think I've been conditioned.
Okay, so last thing is captaincy. You have Holland versus Everton. You have Bruno versus Liverpool, or a rogue option. Where did you
Did
guys?
you not? What did you land on? Did you?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to come to a conclusion. All right.
I mean, I can make the transfers here if
No,
that would get you
no.
guys
I
going.
just-
I mean, it
a little let
would.
down.
Okay, sure. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
Well, did you decide what you were doing?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, sure. Sharpe said Calvert-Lewin and Rodgers, and you seem like you agreed with that.
I would think about it a little more. I still think the double Bournemouth defense is a problem.
What good does thinking about it do for me? let's be honest.
Dude, vibes. I've made transfers on the pod so many times this season. Do it.
Doing
Okay,
it.
last question. Are you sure you could start a good lineup this week if you make these transfers?
Not at all doing it.
All right.
Confirmed.
You can't start a good lineup.
This is more fun. I like this. Hey, and all 3 Bournemouth guys are on the bench again. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have no issue with that lineup. Maybe Newcastle's not the best in the world. Maybe you want
No, they've
Tavernier instead of
been-
Henschelwood, but like,
It's fine. We're good. All right, let's talk game week 35 captaincy. Who are we feeling?
Holland.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to go Holland. I'm going to keep it on Bruno. And I'm going to do that because I think Holland does better when you don't have giant backline. And I think Tarkowski is going to be back then. I think he's going to handle Holland fine. So I don't expect the goals to come from Holland specifically.
That is solid logic. I can't necessarily refute any of that. Bruno has been in great form too. He's like chugging away, right?
Sharpe has watched too much Liverpool ball. He knows what's good.
My only thing is I just think that Liverpool is a better team than
Oh, wait, yeah.
Everton. And the problem is,
Maybe
City
sometimes.
City might
but-
distribute their goals a little bit more versus Bruno Fernandes is the guy. So I see the logic. I'm back and forth on that myself. I still think that Everton is the better team to target, but I'm probably going to go Holland, but that's subject to change.
Yeah.
Hey, Liverpool's on a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, no, sometimes they look like a real team, but the fact they've done it 3 times, that means it's over. Like that would
They're
good
due.
run.
What
It
if
is funny
Slot
how
goes-
horrible of a season they've had, and they're still in 4th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no,
they're
it's-
12 points behind second. It's not even close.
Yeah.
This
When
might
you're just coming
be-
off a title defense like that, like that's
Yeah.
sad.
What if Slot wins out, saves his job next season? Am I going to?
Yeah, no, I think
Probably a
he's
lot.
already saved his job, unfortunately, which is the
No,
stupidest. thing.
no. You got Javi Alonso. It's chill.
He got linked to another Bundesliga or not Bundesliga.
Is that
La
info
Liga.
papers?
No, it wasn't. It would, but it was like possible. Like
What La
they're
Liga
interested in-
team? There's only 3 that I think he would go to unless he really wants a project.
You're assuming I clicked past the headline.
I was going to
He,
say.
he was already at 1. Okay,
Yeah,
Um,
no, I know.
I gotta ask you guys.
If Fabrizio didn't say it, I don't believe it. That's where we're at.
I gotta
so
ask you guys. Did you watch the Bayern game? Both.
No, I
No.
was working,
Oh
but
my god! I know it's not Prem related, but I saw the light. Oh my god! Maybe one of the better games of soccer I've ever seen.
Dude,
well, it did make me think. because that was yesterday, right? It did make me think, what was the game today? Like,
it was
it just
1-1
boring
with
as fuck? Yeah,
1-1 with
exactly.
2 pins. It
So
was 2 pins.
I just looked at that, like I just pulled that up, and I was thinking that yesterday. I was like, everybody's like, that was the best game I've ever seen, and then I was like, and just wait for Arsenal to just make you hate soccer again. And sure enough,
that was what everyone expected. I mean, there was 2.2 xg to 1.5 xg, but like a pen is worth so much xg that
I hate Arsenal. I hate Arsenal.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna win 1-0 at home because I believe that leg was at Atletico.
They were complaining about the grass, so
we're gonna see another fantastic game on the other side, and then somehow, because it only takes one time in the final, Arsenal's gonna muddy it the fuck up and win 1-0.
There is an ideal scenario for me in this where Bayern go through, Arsenal go through, and then Harry Kane sends them down.
Okay, wait. Can we talk about really quickly? Do you guys think that City are going to do it? Because the only reason I say that is look at Arsenal's fixture run for the next 4: Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Palace. That's as good as it gets.
But all City has to do is win.
Is that true? Because they're 3 points back exactly. I don't know what the tiebreaker
But
is.
they have a double game week, so they're going to be even on games, and goal differential is the tiebreaker.
Right. So let's say they both went out. They're tied. So yeah,
It is goal differential.
And Arsenal is 1 up right now, but I guarantee you City score more over the next 4 games.
Yeah, if City wins out and they score more, which they tend to do, game over. What I'm a little concerned about, though, to Luke's point, is that like arguably it's slightly more challenging teams for City.
And City has to, play the double, which is the hard part, right? Of playing fixtures closer together. They're doing 5-day gap, 4-day gap, 3-day gap.
Arsenal has the Champions League right now too.
This is true.
I mean, it's a fair point because Arsenal has Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, but sandwiched in the middle of those is a Champions League game.
Yeah, so should we just give the FA Cup to Chelsea at this point then? Because City will definitely be resting everyone for that game.
With Chelsea's form, that might be enough.
Yeah, it could be.
It was barely
Chelsea's A team versus City's youth team. Let's see who wins.
City's U15s.
Yeah, Jesus. All right. Well, that's enough of that, I think. But exciting stuff to close out the year, even if our mini isn't all that close. All right, we'll catch you guys next time after game week 35 has wrapped.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.